Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts inside a packed New York courtroom. The dramatic hearing, closely watched across the United States, began the countdown to the first ever criminal trial of a former American president. Trump spent about an hour inside a Manhattan courtroom where he voluntarily surrendered to face charges of a hush money payment.
It's not just about one payment. It is 34 business records, 34 false statements in business records that were concealing criminal conduct.
Inside the courtroom, the former U.S. president asserted he is not guilty. Trump denied all the charges which related to payments to keep people quiet, including over an alleged affair with porn star Stormy Daniels. He was released from custody without any restrictions. WION correspondent Susan Teherani explains the legal drama in New York.
Former President Donald Trump left this Manhattan courthouse a little before 3:30 p.m. local time, heading straight to LaGuardia Airport and then off to Florida. What he left behind was a chaotic scene of his supporters protesting his indictment and a group of counter-protesters who were happy that he was being arraigned today, not to mention the international and national media who stayed behind, hundreds of them continuing their coverage of this historic event. The judge said that he would not issue a gag order against the president, meaning that former President Donald Trump can continue speaking about the case, and Alvin Bragg as well, the district attorney. He pleaded not guilty to all 34 counts. The next time Donald Trump is expected to be at a Manhattan courtroom, as of now, is December 4th.
Hours after the hearing, Trump flew back to his Florida estate. From his Mar-a-Lago mansion, he rallied his supporters and slammed the criminal prosecution as an insult to the country. In the audience were several hundred donors, political allies and other supporters. Trump, who is in the race for the 2024 Republican nomination, attacked what he called radical left prosecutors, saying they were out to get him at any cost.
God bless you all. God bless you all. Anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. From the beginning, the Democrats spied on my campaign. Remember that? They attacked me with an onslaught of fraudulent investigations. Russia, 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 Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Impeachment hoax number 1. Impeachment hoax number 2. The illegal and unconstitutional raid on Mar-a-Lago right here.
Trump also hit out at the Biden administration and the FBI. He even accused President Joe Biden of having received $10 million from China.
Yet Joe Biden took massive amounts more documents, even removed many boxes to Chinatown. You believe that? Just got $10 million from China. Where did that come from? I guess they were banking on Hunter's expertise. The Hunter Biden laptop from hell, which exposes the Biden family as criminals and which, according to the pollsters, would have made a 17-point difference. It would have been in our favor. Not my favor, our favor, because our country is going to hell.
Meanwhile, the White House press secretary said Trump's arraignment is not a focus for President Joe Biden.
It's an ongoing case, so we're just not going to comment on the case specifically itself. Look, the president is going to focus on the American people like he does every day. He is not, this is not something that is a focus for him. He is going to focus on things like making sure that we continue to lower prices for the American people.
The hearing marked a watershed moment for the United States criminal and political system. The twice-impeached Republican is the first sitting or former American president to be criminally indicted. He is believed to have been fingerprinted before the hearing, but was not subjected to a perp walk in which a defendant is escorted in handcuffs past cameras. Trump is also using the case to energize supporters and raise millions of dollars for his new White House bid. Hundreds of people gathered outside the venue. Pro-Trump protesters sported "Make America Great Again" hats and attire with a U.S. flag. The anti-Trump camp unfurled banners and chanted, "Lock him up." Here's what Trump's lawyers had to say.
He's frustrated, he's upset, but I'll tell you what, he's motivated, and it's not going to stop him. It's not going to slow him down, and it's exactly what he expected. And so to that extent, there's no surprise. But he's also upset and frustrated and disappointed and mad that this happened.
The most famous charge revolves around the investigation of $130,000 paid to porn star Stormy Daniels just days before his presidency. Prosecutors also faulted Trump over a $30,000 payment made to keep quiet a doorman at Trump Tower over allegations the former president had a child out of wedlock. A final case involved a woman who received $150,000 from a U.S. tabloid in exchange for silence about an alleged sexual relationship with Trump. A 52-year-old former model and actress from Indiana, Karen McDowell, was a Playboy magazine Playmate of the Year in the late 1990s. She has said she had an affair with Trump in 2006 and 2007. Trump has denied having a sexual relationship with her. The former U.S. president is facing a series of separate criminal investigations at the state and federal levels. The investigations could result in further, more serious charges between now and Election Day.
Looking forward, the political ramifications for the former president will be short-term gains. After all, the president has been able to raise more than $8 million in campaign funds since the news of his indictment broke out. But the question is whether or not Donald Trump will be able to ride this momentum as his legal troubles pile up. Remember, New York is just one of many. There is that classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago case on the one hand, a January 6th case on the other, and then a court case in Georgia as well, not to mention a slew of other cases here in New York. While his Republican base has rallied around him for the most part, and if he does end up being the Republican nominee for presidential election 2024, the question is whether or not he'll be able to convince enough independent voters that he deserves another shot at the White House. A lot to ponder and a lot of questions left unanswered. But one thing is for sure, Donald Trump's lawyers have said that they are willing to fight to the very end. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
And for more on this situation, we were earlier joined by Dr. Christina Iwana Dragomir from New York. She's a political analyst and commentator, and this is what she had to say.
We need to clarify certain aspects. Falsification of business records in the second degree is a misdemeanor charge. So we are looking at misdemeanor charges, which are right now considered to be felonies. If, however, the falsification of these documents is meant to cover up some other criminal act, then it becomes a felony. So this is what the district attorney Bragg was bringing against Donald Trump today. So we are looking at a case that has the classification of misdemeanor and felony. So what we're going to be looking at for the next coming months is to see how the district attorney has prepared this case and how the defenders of former President Trump are going to attack this. This is going to be like a really long process that is going to take place. The reason why that is because right now we are entering what it's called the discovery period. That is, in the discovery period, the attorneys of former President Trump will have to look for certain proofs that this is a part of the process that can be dismissed. So what we're going to be looking at for the next months is a trial that will probably become a lot of a public spectacle, in which Trump's lawyers are going to bring up a lot of proofs in order to dismiss the trial altogether. Also, I would like to bring into view the fact that you said that this is a historical moment, and definitely it is. This is the first time in the history of the United States where a former president is being indicted. But this is not new within the United States. In 2011, another presidential candidate, John Edwards, were also indicted for very similar charges, but his case was acquitted. So what we are looking at, it's a higher profile and a former president. And this is definitely historic. And this is a terrible day for United States. The world is watching United States, and this is what United States is drawing attention to. So this is a process that is impacting not only Republicans, not only former President Trump, but also United States and the legal system and the legal precedents of United States for a very long time.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.